Thanks for joining us for another session of the Retail 360 Summit. My name is Rich, and I run customer success here at Striver. This episode will be focusing on operational efficiency, both in-store and in the supply chain. Do you ever feel like training is a necessary evil? Because while running trainings can slow down or even stop your operations, it still remains vital to running those successful operations in the first place. You combine that with employee turnover and the need to hire a competent workforce on an ongoing basis, and those costs can really add up. We've even talked with retailers that are forced to bring the workforce in during off hours for trainings and make sure to pay them for that, while also flying in trainers around the country to lead those sessions. All in all, the way that we train today is a very expensive endeavor, whether it's through what you give up in the slowed operations or the costs with associate wages, particularly if you're hosting recurring training sessions on an ongoing basis. Costs can also add up when processes change and you need to retrain, which is frequent. As we know, retailers need to evolve constantly. What if you could reduce your training times by 50%? What about 90%? It sounds too good to be true, but top retailers have actually met and exceeded that metric with immersive learning. Let's dive into how that's possible. As a quick reminder, immersive learning is the groundbreaking approach for employee training that combines virtual reality, advanced learning theory, data science, and spatial design for the most engaging and effective training solution possible. For now, let's focus on learning and how to bring that learning theory to life. Like many methods for content development, you need expert instructional design. How you teach someone and what you say to them is just as important as what you're intending to train on. But in the case of immersive learning, instructional design specifically caters to learning in a three-dimensional space, which is not the same as design for manuals, videos, or classroom learning. These designers lean on immersive content specialists who are essentially film directors for VR experiences. And we talk more about what that's like in our How to Get Started session. But it's through this collaboration across these disciplines that a retail organization like Walmart can take a training that was 8 hours, a full day of work, down to 15 minutes without losing an ounce of effectiveness, and actually engage their employees better than an in-person day-long event would. To hear more, we have a short 90-second clip from the Walmart's VP of US Learning who explains about what this was like for them and what this module meant. Check it out.
So we had something we call pickup towers that were rolling out across the entire country. And during the test, we would have to send 4 to 5 associates to a store to set up this tower, teach all the associates how to set it up, how to maintain it, how to use it, how to interact with customers with it. And it was taking probably 4 to 6 weeks with 4 to 5 people there to set it up and get everybody trained. So we, with the Oculus Go, and we created a VR module that actually I think it's 4 5-minute modules that teach you how to set it up, how to maintain it, how to use it, and how to interact with customers. And we send an Oculus Go with the tower, no people, and everyone uses the VR module to learn how to use and set up the tower. And so it saved us 4 or 5 people per tower. We're going to roll out probably 1,000 of them this year. So significant savings in travel, in people's time. And everybody likes and wants to do the training, and they actually understand it and retain it because it feels so much like an experience and they can see the tower. So hugely beneficial for us. So that's one of the main uses we're using for the Oculus Go right now is if we redo the front end, if we do something different, the way we unload trucks, the pickup tower. So new technology is definitely a way we're using VR.
So VR allows you to make use of your best trainers' talk track and exercises and makes that a consistent experience across the nation or at each of one of your locations. But unlike traditional approaches, VR goes beyond that. It makes use of the best trainer while also giving the associate hands-on, one-to-one experiential learning that allows them to interact in a virtual setting that perfectly mimics your store, warehouse, manufacturing plant, you name it, their place of work. This way, they're getting not only the optimal instruction, but also the specific, relevant, on-the-job practice that makes that training sticky and impactful. Another example comes from the food industry. A restaurant chain that we work with administers mandatory food safety training once per quarter to every single one of its 25,000 employees. They bring in a trainer, they require employees to show up for 2 hours before store opening, and also pay them for that time. But like with any instructor-led training, measuring engagement and knowledge retention is pretty tough. Not to mention, these quarterly sessions cost a restaurant $2.5 million a year in wages alone. Based on expert instructional design for VR, this restaurant discovered that learning outcomes could still be achieved with just a 20-minute module in VR. Compare that to 2 hours before the shift. That means that they could pull workers off of the line during the day, during slow times in their regular shifts, meaning no overtime wages, no additional operational complexity with opening the stores during off hours, and on top of all that, no wasting real food during the training. This opportunity for savings without affecting the output is only possible with immersive learning. Those are just a few use cases. Walmart reducing training time from 8 hours to 15 minutes in a restaurant, potentially saving over $2 million that are focused on when and how employees train. But you can also train to improve operations as well. We've worked with companies to help streamline their processes in the supply chain or in the store, or to actually teach new processes in a more effective way. Let's close by discussing the power of data in immersive learning to evaluate team member performance. In a warehouse, for example, associates would wear the headset to train and look around within the experience for inefficiencies or improper process during scene hunts, where they look around, point and click and interact with the areas that seem incorrect. The beauty is that VR tracks that head movement when they make those head movements and what they're looking at, so that if the inefficiency is behind the associate but they never turn around, you know that this person didn't properly scan that environment. This data is really powerful in assessing how proficient your employees are, as well as how seriously they're taking that training. And these are opportunities that traditional training would just never expose. Better yet, that associate can take that training again and again until he or she is proficient and confident in walking the floor. We've even heard that many associates get competitive, trying to post the highest score in the fastest time, leading to even better engagement with the company, creating a better culture and appreciation for the training at hand. What makes us experts on the topic? Well, we're leaders in training in virtual reality. Striver was incubated in the Stanford University Virtual Human Interaction Lab in 2015 to experiment with VR as a tool for training football players. But with sports as a proving ground, we turned focus to how that same immersive technology could also improve learning in the enterprise. Today, leaders in the Fortune 500 like Walmart and Verizon partner with Striver for immersive learning, a groundbreaking approach that combines virtual reality with advanced learning theory, data science, and spatial design. Striver offers an end-to-end solution that consists of software and professional services in order to deliver the most effective and engaging immersive learning program, solution, and experiences. With that, we'll wrap up this short session. We're really glad you tuned in to learn about how VR improves operational efficiency in restaurants as well as in retail organizations like Walmart. Be sure to watch our last Retail 360 short video session on how to get started with VR training at your own organization. Thanks very much.